Okay, I'm getting ready to make homemade pizza dough because I'm trying to save money, and also I figured since I'm doing this, I'm going to custom design my own pizza dough and make it somewhat healthy. I'm going to use whole wheat flour. Okay, I'm using active dry yeast. I have a kind of complicated recipe so that people can have a successful pizza dough regardless of whether they use active dry yeast, instant yeast, or whatever. Since I'm using active dry yeast, the recipe does call for 1.5 teaspoons. This is more like 2 teaspoons. But because I'm planning on possibly freezing this dough, I'm going to use all the yeast. Now, for active dry yeast, I probably need to add, let's go ahead and put in a teaspoon of sugar to help. First of all, what I'm going to do is get a cup of water, and I'm going to nuke it up in the microwave and get it at just the right temperature. You don't want it too hot or too cold. Okay, I'm using Brita water. I don't know if the chlorine in the water would kill the yeast, but then I think my Brita filter has taken enough of it out where it'll be good. So I'm going to try nuking it for 20 seconds. Let's see how that goes. The water was refrigerator cold, so it needs to go another 20 seconds. I'm just going to feel it with my finger. If it feels warm enough for the yeast to be happy to grow, then yeah, you know. Okay, I just added a teaspoon of sugar to the warm water. It's kind of like melted around here. Huh. The active dry yeast actually says to put it in a 1/4 cup. Oh well. Yeah, I think I've got enough sugar in there to. We'll go ahead and throw the yeast in there now. I'm gonna have to bring the bowl over here. I'm gonna use the whole thing. Ooh, it smells good. This takes up the full cup here, I'm telling you. Looks like the yeast are starting to like this. Do I have the camera? I don't even think you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I'm breaking it up with my fingers. Make sure it gets wet and sugary. It's kind of clumping up on me. I use the full packet because I plan on freezing this. Yep. Okay. We got to make sure the yeasty beasties are happy. We're going to keep them alive for right now. I learned that they don't die during freezing. I was wondering about that because when I get the Whole Foods dough, let me rinse my hands off here. Okay, let me go ahead and we're just going to leave this in this part of the kitchen for right now, and then I'll come back here later. Hold on. Okie dokie. Let me get some more light here. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do now is we're going to add flour to the bowl. I'm going to put in 1 cup of whole wheat flour, and let's go ahead and get that. This is whole wheat flour. So 1 cup of whole wheat flour. There's 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Get rid of a mess here. Okay. I'll be storing that in an airtight container later. And then 1.5 cups of the 00 flour. That's this one right here. The pizza flour. 1.5 cups of 00 flour. There's a cup. And then 2 of these. One. Looks like we're going to get plenty of, I'm going to have enough dough here for 4 pizzas. Ha ha ha. Okay, that's the 00 flour. This is expensive flour here. You may say, you're not on this, but I've had this over a year. However, it looks like there's enough in here to make, it's still cheaper than buying the Whole Foods. Okay. Okay, now we're going to add sugar. I already put a teaspoon of sugar with the yeast, so we're going to make it 1 teaspoon of sugar. Yeah. Okay, 1 teaspoon of sugar. And salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. I think this actually hinders the growth of the I wish they had a more accurate way of doing this. That's too much. That's good. I actually prefer to go a little light on the salt, because salt's a yeast killer. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Alright, let's see how we're going here. Okay. Whisk together. Whisk together. Can you see me there? Okay, whisk together. This looks like it's going to be good. Whisk together. You say, what's wrong with Whole Foods pizza dough? Well, I'm trying to save money. And it's a pain to get out there right now with the hot weather. And besides, making my own like this is going to be healthier. Okay, it's all whisked together. Now I already know that Add yeast to 1 cup warm water, mix well, wait for 5 minutes. It's already been 5 minutes. Add yeast mixture into flour. Use fingers to swish it all together, so I'll be doing that next. Then fold over, and I'm going to go ahead and knead the dough right in here. Do it for 10 minutes. I'm going to bring this over there because that cup is full, okay? Hold on. It's already overflowing. Okay. Now I'm going to use my fingers. You can't see here too good. Mix it all together. You can't see too good, but I'm using my fingers here. Oh shoot, some of it got on the floor. They're using brain control on me to get me to mess up. Interesting. I might need to put more water in here simply because I'm using the whole wheat flour. Tell a minute. However, I don't want it to be cold water. Actually, I think we're going to be okay. Needs a little bit more water. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have to adjust it. I can tell it needs a little bit more water. This is a little dry. I've worked with pizza dough before, so I know. Let me, this is a little dry. Let's go ahead and put in about, I'll have to adjust my recipe. Yeah, I can tell. Like I said, I've worked with pizza dough before. It's a little dry. Needs a little bit more water. Okay. Let's go ahead and put in maybe, I think I'll add in another 1/4 cup. Yeah, see, the problem with using whole wheat is, yeah, hold on a minute. Let me turn this off right now. Actually, I put in way too much water, so I had to add more flour. So, but it probably needs like a teaspoon more water than the recipe called for. So I will adjust my recipe. Now I got the right consistency. I added a bunch of whole wheat flour to this. Made quite a mess. Now I got it the right consistency. I think what I'm going to do is adjust the recipe and make it half-half. Yeah, I actually like having more of the whole wheat flour in here. Yeah, so I'm going to adjust the recipe and make it about half-half. Yeah, now the dough's looking good. Yeah, this is good. Okay. I'm still kneading. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is, now the dough's feeling right. Okay, let me turn this off right now. Actually, I don't think I needed to add more water. I think I'm just not used to making the recipes, because once you start kneading it, it starts softening. So, yeah, the recipe's fine. Well, I'll remember this for next time. Yeah. Yeah, once you start, maybe a teaspoon more water. Yeah. It's sticking here. Yeah, there's definitely gluten forming, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, what I did is I used the dough to coat the pan, and then I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap now. I put some olive oil in there, and I'm going to let it rise. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch this down gently and form it into 4 dough balls. Let me see. I think I need to get a cutting board. Hold on a minute. Yeah, let's put it this way. I already got the plastic wrap ready, as you can see. Put this over here. Thinking I might want to lightly flour this. Put a little bit of semolina. Yeah, a little bit of semolina flour. Let's see. Put a little bit of semolina flour here. Just a little bit. Just to keep it from sticking to the... Okay. I'm going to spread it around here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see if we can get you in a better angle. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let it rise more in the refrigerator, so let's just go ahead and punch it down gently. I'm punching it down gently, and here it kind of doubled in size. Okay. Feels right. I think what I'm going to do is put it into like a roll, because I'm going to put it into 4 pizza balls. Let's see. To keep it from drying out, I'm going to coat each one with some oil. Let's go ahead and get, I remember every time I try to make my own pizza, it's always a bit of a mess. I'll get better at this with practice, right? Hold on. Okay. I put about maybe half a teaspoon of oil in each of these, and I'm going to cut it up into 4 sections. Let's start in the middle right here. Okay. Right here. This way they'll be about the same size. And then about right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is roll each one up into a ball. And coat, once I get it in a ball shape, it doesn't have, I think the ideal shape would be kind of like this. I'm going to roll it in some grease here, olive oil. This is olive oil to keep it from drying out. Okay, now I'm going to put it inside plastic wrap, wrap it tightly. Okay, there. Okay, and I'm going to do that, as you can see, I put it inside plastic wrap, and I'm going to seal it. Okay, and then I'm gonna let these rise in the refrigerator. Okay, I'll be doing that for each one. So you can see what I'm doing here. And then in a couple of days, I'm going to make pizza with these. Okay, they're all in here. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in the refrigerator, and in the coldest part of the refrigerator, and let them sit in there for like 48 to 72 hours. And then I'm going to roll them out and make pizza with them like I've done in the past. Yeah, so this was here's the topping. I already made a video on how to do this. So, but I made just enough for one pizza instead of two because I'm only making one. Nothing beats a fresh pizza out of the oven. And now I'm going to show you how. Let's try out the new homemade dough. Okay, I have preheated the oven to 425. I've already greased this pizza pan with some avocado oil. And here is my homemade dough. So let's see how this goes. I took it out about 3 hours ago and took it out of the refrigerator, and I'm what they recommend you do dough at room temperature. Here's a nice dry cutting board with some semolina flour. I find that works good. So let me go get my roller pin. Where's my roller pin? This is what you call being organized, right? The only disadvantage of living in a small kitchen is you got to be really organized to find stuff. Here it is. There are different ways of spreading out, stretching your pizza dough, but if you're making a thin crust like I am, they usually recommend a roller pin. Okay, let's see how my homemade dough does. Now this looks interesting. What I'm going to do is shape it into a ball. Oh yeah, this looks like it's going to work. Yeah, shape it into it. It has a similar texture to that Whole Foods dough that I had, which means it's going to work, right? Haha. Okay, let me just go ahead and flatten it out here. Get started on rolling it into a pizza dough shape, right? This looks like it's going to work. Let's try this. So I had this in the refrigerator for 3 days. I'm going to be making another pizza. It seems to be rolling pretty good. A mistake that I made with the Whole Foods pizza dough is I would try to do it at refrigerator temperature. They don't recommend you do that. I may not have given myself enough dough. Let me see. My first time I've ever made my own dough here. Let me go ahead. Usually what I'll do is I'll transfer it right over here and then spread it out in the pizza pan. Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah, we are here. And I spread it out in the pizza pan. I like a thin crust. This has got part whole wheat. This will definitely be a thin crust, that's for sure. Looks like I might think. definitely a thin crust, but then that's what I like. Now what I plan on doing, I've never worked with whole wheat flour before, so it doesn't have to be the perfect shape. As long as it tastes good. It's spreading out here. Okay, I have modified my recipe a bit. Normally I'll put it in, I'll put it in for 10 minutes. For this one, I think I'm going to do 4 minutes. So there's a, yeah, this looks like it'll work. I don't worry about doing the fancy edging. I just like getting it spread out. This is my own unique pizza. Okay, that looks good enough for me. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this in the 425 oven in the middle rack, so for about 4 minutes. I forgot, prick all over with a fork. I noticed my pizza dough is always puffed up, so let's just go ahead and do this right now. Now we're going to put it in there for 4 minutes. Okay, I don't know if I filmed or not, but here's what it looks like after about 6 minutes in the oven. That looks about right. Let me go ahead and do the next steps. I pretty much know because I've made this pizza before. Yeah, it looks like 425 is the right temperature. Let's go ahead and put in some of this Rao's homemade pizza sauce. Ooh, that looks good, huh? I don't know if you can see it here. Like I said, this is going to be, I believe, a healthier pizza. Not that the Whole Foods dough is that bad, because it has the they recommend to put this on kind of light, but the okay. This looks interesting, huh? Like I said, I will let you know. Okay, that's pretty good. And the next thing I'm going to do now is bring it over here and put the, it looks like it's not very liquidy. You want all the liquids out of the, oh, I got to remember this, I always forget. Let me put a little bit of pepper on the, just a little bit of pepper here. It gives it a nice spunk. So I'm sprinkling some pepper on top of the tomato sauce right now. Now, what I'm going to do now is put in the topping. I use a slotted spoon because I'm trying to get all the liquids out, you see. This is a vegetable pizza, and I got a mix of Kalamata and black olives in here. So let's just spread it out. don't care about the fancy edging that most pizzas have. I'm a vegetable lover, not a carbohydrate lover. This is my own unique pizza. It works for me. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, use a slotted spoon. I've cooked it in a cast iron pan beforehand. Yeah. My culinary masterpiece. Okay. Let's bring it on over this way again. Try to do this and film at the same time is something, man, I'll tell you. Okay. Alright, now see if I can get this. Alrighty. The next step is the cheese. It's a mix of feta and mozzarella. Now I have to remember that I have enough cheese in here for 2 pizzas, so I don't want to use it all up. Because I'm going to be making this exact same pizza again tomorrow. I've decided when I make pizza, just make it fresh. So let's just, is it still running? Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and put the cheese. About half of this, and then I'll be good. I try not to get the cheese all over the onto the pizza pan, because then it burns, but about half, right? The oven's still on. That was about right. Okay. Alrighty, hold on a minute. Okay, let's make sure it's not too hot for me to handle. Next time, since I'm obviously not going to use all that pizza sauce, I will freeze it in the middle rack because I have a small oven. Okay, for about another 6 minutes or so, huh? Okay, this is it. It's a little too hot for me to handle, so I'm just going to let it cool off right now. And I'll let you know what it tastes like in a couple of minutes. I wanted to make a healthy pizza that won't turn me into Fat City. Let's see if, and that would still taste good, you know. Now that's interesting. You know what? That's not a bad crust. It's a little thin, I think. Let me think. Interesting. I actually like it. I think I could eat this without getting fat, you know? Though it's got a lot of cheese on it. The crust has got whole wheat in it. I'm wondering if I could, there is an edit that I'm going to make. Next time I make this, no, I think it's pretty good. Not bad. Not everybody would go for it though. It can have a little bit of a thicker crust, I think. Very crispy. I do, I like it. This crust is a combination of white whole wheat flour and 00 pizza flour, and it's not bad. The crust could possibly be a little bit thicker. I'm going to see if I can work on that, but it's not bad. But I like it that I've got whole wheat flour in there. It's going to be a little bit more nutritional than the other crust. This one's a little bit thicker, so it might depend on how I roll it, huh? The crust is very crispy. I like that. It's a good pizza. I like it. Yeah. You can tell that it has whole wheat flour in it. It has a little bit of a nutty flavor. It's a good pizza to me. Anyways, I will be posting this at my cooking channel. Yeah. There's an easy solution to this. Next time when I roll it out, I'll make it a smaller pizza. And then it'll be a little thicker on the bottom, and it'll have a nice consistency. Yeah. Because, yeah, that's what I'm going to do next time. Other than that, it's not bad, though.
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising, breaking free.